Hello everybody, and today we're going to be talking about JoJo Part 7 Steel Ball Run. So I'm going to do a bunch of reactions as I finish this part. I'm almost done. I think I have about less than 20 chapters to go. This was a monthly series, so we still have about, it's less than 20 chapters, but it's about double the content of a regular chapter if you guys have read manga before. So maybe it's like 35 regular chapters I have left to go. But anyways, I'm going to do the reaction to Valentine's or Mr. President Stand. I thought, obviously, if you've watched JoJo, if you've been through all the series, the main enemy always has some type of space and time manipulation stand. Basically, his stand goes above the rest. Even Kira's in Part 4 that started as an explosion, his Part 3 evolution of it turned into kind of like a space and time manipulation. Kira's ability is kind of confusing, so I won't go too much into it, especially if you're an anime only and you're watching this video. You don't want to spoil it. I don't want to even spoil who Kira is right now. So anyways, Valentine's stand was basically to, when he's collided, when he's, what's a good way to put it? Like, when he's pressed against something, so when he's sandwiched in between something, he can he can change he can take someone from a different reality. So basically, think of like, his stand works on multiple realities, and there's an infinite number of realities. So, basically, when he's pressed up against something, sandwiched against something, he can go to the alternate realities and take people from it and change things. So it seems like the extent of it is when he's, it goes this extreme. Basically, Dio was fighting him, and he's against the wall, or he's on the floor, and a raindrop falls on him, and because this raindrop falls on him, he's able to do his ability just based on that. So because his back's on the wall, and just a raindrop, that's all he needs, that's the only sandwich he really needs to be able to activate this ability. He's able to go to another dimension and replace his death with one of an alternate reality's death. And so that alternate reality version of him dies, and the new one still survives. So very crazy, brilliant abilities. And then a few more twists to it, like if he brings another Dio back from a different reality, and they two meet, they'll die. Or if he does that with anyone, if someone sees their alternative self from a different reality, they'll just collide and die, or any object as well. This all happens besides Mr. President himself, Mr. Valentine. So very crazy ability, space and time kind of manipulation again, where it's like a reality bending. Obviously, the enemies just have a constant trend with this. Like they always have some type of reality bending stand or time and space manipulation. I think part 6 was space and time, and then getting into, well, it was gravitational, and then it's getting space and time and reality, new realities. So part 6 was getting crazy with the last enemy stand as it kept on evolving, and part 7 doesn't even need any evolving. It's already pretty OP. The only thing that doesn't make it invincible is that he needs to be squished in between something. If he didn't have to be squished in between something, he would be completely invincible. Nothing would be able to kill him. So my reaction to the stand, I was like, holy shit, finally get to see him. Because I was thinking maybe he had an invisible stand, because it sometimes seemed like he turned invisible or he disappeared out of nowhere. So I was like, okay, maybe he's invisible. But then I was thinking, like, couldn't Dio smell him? And so for a long time I was kind of like, oh no. But now it makes kind of sense, because now he can go out of reality and in a different reality, and I think he can just pop up within the reality back again. But of course, in the climax, there's a reason why he can't do that. I won't spoil it too much just in case someone hasn't read the manga. And if you haven't read the manga, I suggest you go read it now. What are you doing watching this video? Go read some JoJo. No, but yeah. So, for anyone who hasn't read JoJo, very recommended. I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't read JoJo, but please go and read it, or watch the anime on Crunchyroll up to part 4, and then you can do the manga. Sadly, the manga isn't translated in English, so you can't necessarily buy it, but there's fan trans online for you to read, and very good series. I love this Valentine's part. His reveal of the stand was just like epic. It was confusing as hell when it happened, because you found out that like multiple people had shot the same person, and you're like, what's going on here? We have like 3 people that shot the same person, but we know that one person shot this person. But then it turned out that he was bringing alternate reality versions of themselves out, and so one person shot a different person of Johnny, one person shot a different person of Johnny, and then the president shot a version of Johnny, and then, or something like that. That part was confusing. If anyone can like explain that part real well, then you go ahead. But and then basically they're all confused and jumbled because of what happened, and the switches the president is pulling with different people from the different realities. And of course, this is like a multiverse, multi-reality theory where there's an infinite number of possibilities in reality. The president even talked about how in a different reality, Dio was chasing him not for the corpse part, but for some diamonds or something, for some riches. So that's very interesting. So all these realities have potential different possibilities. What was also interesting in the stand, after so long, it shows like the stand description in the chapters. What was interesting is that it had those rules that I talked about, but then it had one minor rule that I don't really know why was included. Maybe I'll see it later on. But it said you couldn't pass money through the multiple realities. So why money? That's very specific. Can you travel? Can you take your kid to alternate realities? You can take your dog, your piano, but you can't take money across alternate realities, which is a very weird rule. I don't know if it's going to come into play later on or if it already did and I just didn't notice it. But that was a very strange rule, and I don't really know why it was included, especially since I don't see a reason when they'd include it, at least in the plot sense. If it does get included, then I don't know how they're going to include that. But just a very interesting, weird rule that I noticed while I was reading it. I was like, oh, that's weird. You can't take money, but you can take everything else. It's a very specific rule for your stand. But obviously it doesn't limit him in any way to his powers. So this was my reaction to Valentine's stand. Really loved it. Great stand. Probably the best stand in Part 7 in terms of power, and is basically, as long as he can get squished in between something, he's invincible. He's immortal. And it allows him to do so many things, instantly kill people with them seeing alternate versions of himself, causing conflicts with alternate versions, just confusing everyone up. So it was a great chapter, great couple chapters anyways, and I'll probably review the climax at the end. That's probably the last part, or unless something spectacular happens before that. So thank you everyone for watching. Have a wonderful manga day. See you out.